Hello students, this video is for BBA second year students and we will discuss something about the subject called BEBL. Dear students, since very soon your internal exams is going to be conducted through online mode, so in today's video we will discuss the entire unit 1 in a very brief manner so that this will be very helpful to you at the time of examination. So in one way, you may also say today's class will be of one revision class of your BEBL subject, and we will discuss the unit 1, or you can say all the glimpses of unit 1 in a very short manner or in a very shortcut manner. Dear students, your unit 1 comprises of different aspects, like just I am writing the highlights of the course that has been defined in unit 1, and later on we will discuss them one by one. Dear students, just I am writing on the board the glimpses of your unit 1, what it comprises of. You can see from the board. First thing, concept of business. Second, features of business, features, characteristics or nature, all are having the same meaning. Feature of business. Third, types of business organization. Next, forms of business. Next, classification of human activities, which is a very important topic. Scope of business, then interrelationship between business and industry. So these are the highlights or glimpses of your unit 1. So let's discuss them one by one in a very brief manner so that again it will be recap in your mind. At first we will see the concept of business. Dear students, before understanding the real concept of business, we will very soon discuss the concept. But before discussing the actual meaning of business, it is very essential for us to have a thorough knowledge on classification of economic activities. Classification of economic activities. Remember the term economic activities. It is very closely related to the concept of business. Once we able to understand the classification of economic activities, or you may say classification of human activities also, then it is very easy for us to go through or to understand the concept of a business in a very brief manner. So what is the classification of human activities? Let's discuss it. Dear students, every human being like me, like you, like your parents, like your friends, and like everybody who lives in the world, every human being performs certain activities at every point of time. At every point of time, every person makes, or every human being makes certain amount of activities at every point of time. For example, right now I am teaching you. It is one human activity. Right now, you people are listening to me or watching my video. This is another human activity. Right now, your parents or your father may be engaged in doing the business. That is a human activity. Or your father is engaged in any job. That is also one human activity. Your mother will be definitely busy in doing the houseworks. That is also one kind of human activity. So like every your friends may be busy somewhere else also. So every human being performs certain amount of activities at each and every point of time. Now for better understanding of the human activity, dear students, the human activities are classified into two different segments. The human activities are broadly classified into two different segments. What are those? Economic activity and non-economic activity. Now, what is economic activity? Remember, any activity which relates to earning of money or money's worth will be called as one economic activity. Any activity which relates to earning of money or money's worth, any activity which relates to earning of money or money's worth will be called as an economic activity. So any activity which is directed and only directed towards earning of money or money's worth only, that is called one economic activity. On the other hand, you may say that any activity which is completely not related to earning of money or money's worth will be categorized under non-economic activity. Will be categorized under non-economic activity. If we take certain examples of economic activity, it will be very simple. your father making a business or your father doing a business for the purpose of making the profit or for the purpose of earning the money, it is an economic activity. A teacher teaches in the school, that is one economic activity. A doctor provides his doctoral services either in a government hospital or in a private clinic, that is also economic activity because the doctor is taking the money or earning the money. An engineer, a lawyer, a chartered accountant, all those persons or these services is directed towards earning of money. So this will be the examples of economic activity. Similarly, non-economic activity, the basic meaning is the activity which are not related to earning of money or directed towards earning of money will become under the non-economic activities. Now what are those examples? If you will see certain examples, for example, your mother cooks food, your mother cooks food every day for your family. Now your mother cooks food not for the purpose of earning money, rather for the purpose of serving to your family. So that will be categorized under non-economic activity. So like many more things, you are helping to your friend in the exam or for study purpose, maybe giving notes, understanding few topics. Now you are helping your friend completely not to earn money, rather to help your friend. A person helps a blind man for crossing the road, that is also the example of non-economic activity. So in one way we may also say that non-economic activities arises out of love, affection, patriotism, etc. Now we are now seen the classification of human activities. What is economic activity and what is non-economic activity? Dear students, our business concept of business totally relates to economic activities only. Business is totally related to economic activities only. It does not have absolutely no role to play so far as non-economic activities are concerned. No doubt non-economic activities are there, but we will not discuss such things or such non-economic activities because those activities never be directed towards earning of profit or money only. So since non-economic activities are not directed towards earning of money, so we will not discuss such things because our concept of business is totally related to economic activities. So business in one way we can say is a economic activity. Business is coming under economic activity because the basic objective, the basic aim of doing any kind of business is to earn profits and profits only. No person makes business in the world not to earn money or not to make profit. No, every person in the world makes business for the purpose of earning of profits only. Earning of profits only. So since business is absolutely directed towards earning of money only, so hence business will definitely become under economic activity. It has absolutely no role to play so far as non-economic activities are concerned. So now we will discuss what is the concept of business. Business means the state of being busy or the state of remaining busy. Every person who makes the business always busy. There is absolutely no certain time in business. It is not a job that 10 to 5, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the timing. After that, the job is over, so the person can able to come to home and take rest. But in a business, that thing or this thing will not appear. There is no certain time limit in business because the basic meaning of business is that business means the state of remaining busy. The person who makes the business will remain busy throughout for the day, 24 hours and 7 days. No doubt there is a certain time limit for doing the business, but what I meant to say is that after the time is over, there is also certain activity or certain role which is required to be played by the businessman. For example, a businessman makes business from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So he works in his own business for 12 hours. Since he is the owner, so he works in his own business for 12 hours, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you may think that after 9:30 or after 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. at night, the person is come to home, definitely come to home and will take rest, because job timing or business timing is over 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But my dear friend, suppose at that time one of the customer, who is a debtor, it means the person is taking the goods on credit basis. Now the particular debtor who takes the goods on a credit basis, and the person is required to pay or want to pay certain amount of money. Suppose Mr. Ram makes a phone call to the owner of business at late night at 10:30, that kindly open your phone pay account and I will pay you rupees 5 lakhs for the debt amount, or maybe ask for any other thing. Kindly send me your purchase requisition slip, or kindly send me the goods receivable note, or kindly send me your annual reports, or kindly receive my payment, or kindly make payment. So any activity, that what I mean to say by giving the example, there are certain activities which may arise after the business hours also. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is the business hour, 12 hours, that is enough. But my point is, after 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m., 10:30, even 11, even 12 o'clock, late night 12 o'clock also, the businessman who is making the business will definitely have will be busy in doing the business, because at late night also, as I give the example, one person may call him for making the business transactions, maybe to receive money or maybe to pay money or for any other business purpose. So the basic concept of business says that business is the art of, or business means the state of being remaining busy. The person who makes the business will definitely be remain busy for throughout the day, and business forms a part of economic activity. Now I told you what is economic activity and what are the examples. So business is the thing which is completely related to economic activity. Now let's discuss what are the various features or characteristics or nature, whatever you may call, of business. So dear students, the business is having certain amount of features Number one, economic activity. I have clearly explained you just now the business or the concept of business totally related to economic activity, because every business is directed towards earning of profits and profits only. So since the business is directed towards earning of money only, so you can say business is totally forms a part of your economic activity. Second, profit motive. Every business in the world is done for the purpose of earning of profits only. It has been rightly said that profit is the lifeblood of every business. Profit is the lifeblood of every business. No business can survive without profit. So profit is the backbone of business. Without profit, no business can survive. No profit, no business. Simple concept. No profit, no business. If the business is unable to make sufficient amount of profit, then definitely the business will definitely be wound up one day. If the business is not able to earn continuous profit, then the business is definitely be wind up. Now, buying and selling of goods. So exchange of goods, you may also say another point. So buying and selling of goods or exchange of goods. Buying and selling of goods and services. So what happens in a business? A person definitely buys the goods and a person sells the goods. There is one buyer and one seller. I goes to the market for buying a marker pen or buying this marker pen. So the person who sells me will be the seller and I will be the buyer. So only when there is an exchange between the buyer and seller, then only the business can take place. Without the missing of any one factor, the concept of business cannot be complete. For example, I cannot buy the pen or this marker pen myself. I have to choose one seller. Similarly, the seller of the marker pen cannot still sell the marker pen himself or herself. He has to choose one buyer. So only when the buyer and seller meet together, maybe physically or online or through online, because nowadays the business is also carried out through online also. So only when there is a meeting place between the buyer and seller, either physically, you may say directly, or indirectly through online mode, then only the transaction can take place, or then only the business can take place. Without the concept of buyer and seller, the concept of business is totally incomplete. So there must be one buyer, there must be one seller, so that the concept of business can be meaningful or can be complete. Without missing of even a one factor, the concept of business cannot be complete. So there will be buying and selling of goods only. Goods, definitely the buyers and sellers exchange between themselves the goods and the money. However, it may be goods or it may be services also. For example, if we visit to a doctor for our health checkup or regular health checkup, then he is not selling us some goods, rather he is providing us the services. We are visiting to a lawyer not to sell the goods, rather to get some legal help. We are visiting to an engineer for the purpose of constructing a house. So it may be buying and selling of goods or exchange of services also. Next, continuous process. Very important point and very simple also. Continuous process. Business is always a never-ending process. Business is always a never-ending process, or it is always a continuous process. The basic concept says that business is always carried for the purpose of a continuous basis only. Only when there is a continuity in dealings, only when there is a continuity in the dealings, then only the concept of business can be uh, completed. Otherwise not. Otherwise not. A single transaction cannot constitute business. A single transaction cannot constitute business. There should be regularity in making the business. Next, we may say risk and uncertainty. Dear students, risk and uncertainty is an integral part of every business. For example, Mr. Ram is a businessman. So, at the time of making the business, Mr. Ram can make profit, Mr. Ram can make loss. No one can say. We cannot say that, no doubt. Our objective of business is to earn profits and profits only. We have discussed in point number 2. But Mr. Ram cannot say that I will definitely able to earn profit or I will definitely be a successful businessman in the future. No, there is risk and uncertainty which always go simultaneously or always go side by side for every business organization. Where there is business, there is the risk. It may be lead to profit, it may be lead to loss. Then comes your government control. The students, every business is regulated by certain government, or whatever the government makes the rules or regulations. Every business organization bound to obey the rules and regulations. The best example is today's scenario, or the last few months scenario, where lockdown 1, 2, 3 or 1.2, 1.0, 2.0 is going on. Lockdown. When lockdown is going on, no business organization can able to run because the government is absolutely making a proper ban of opening of the business organizations. So since there is a lockdown, so no business organizations except your grocery shops and vegetable shops, no other type of business organization is able to open for last 6 months. We have practically seen that. So apart from that, you may also say another point. You may also add consumer satisfaction. Every business or another feature of business, that every business is directed towards consumer satisfaction, because only when the consumers are satisfied, then only the business can able to be success. So these are the various features. Now let's discuss the various types of business. So dear students, the types of business organization generally we found in India, four major types of business organization. Number one, service sector. Number two, mercantile sector or mercantile business. Number three is your manufacturing unit or manufacturing business. Then hybrid business. So these are the major four types of business. Just go through it very carefully. The types of, we are discussing the types of a business organization. There are four types in India. We find there are four types of business organization. First is the service business. What happens in a service business? Under a service business, the person or the service provider provides his services for making the business. For example, services of a doctor, services of a lawyer, services of an engineer, services of a chartered accountant, services of a company secretary, services of a cost accountant, or other persons, those who are engaged themselves for making or providing of services in the society, are nothing but the examples of a service business. So in a service business, the service provider never sells the goods, rather he provides the services. For example, a doctor provides the doctor services, an engineer provides his or her engineer services, a lawyer provides legal services, a chartered accountant provides various financial services, a company secretary provides various financial as well as legal services so far as corporate units are concerned. So these are the examples of services business. Next we see mercantile business. It is nothing but buying and selling of goods. The mercantile agents or the person who is making the business will be known as the mercantile businessman. So under mercantile business, the person uh, sells the goods to the ultimate consumer and earns accordingly the money. So under mercantile business, it is nothing but the buying and selling of goods between the buyer and seller. Now manufacturing business. Under manufacturing business, what happens? The manufacturer generally produces or manufactures the goods and sell it to the wholesaler or different consignment agents, or you can say C and F agents, what we are saying, or to big retailers also. So under manufacturing business, the manufacturer directly manufacture the products. Seat Tires is a manufacturing company. So what happens in the Seat Tires? The Seat Tires company is manufacturing the tires. The TVS Tires, the cement industry is manufacturing cement. The steel industry manufacturing steel. There are a lot of examples of manufacturing business. This marker pen, somewhere and somewhere it is manufactured, so it is definitely come under manufacturing business. Next we see hybrid business. So we will say hybrid business is nothing but it is a combination of your mercantile business and service business. It is the combination of, you may say, the all the mixtures. It is the combination of manufacturing as well as service unit, mercantile, or you may say, or manufacturing of service units. So under hybrid business, It is the combination of service sector as well as the manufacturing sector. For example, take the example of a restaurant. So what happens in a restaurant? The food is being first of all manufactured. Different foods are manufactured because for making a food, different raw materials are integrated together in order to make a uh, delicious food. So when the food is being manufactured, it is nothing but coming under manufacturing only. Now as you can see, different restaurants provide nowadays online services or door delivery, home delivery services to the ultimate consumers. Now the moment the particular restaurant owner receives the phone calls over phone and deliver the goods or deliver the food, it is coming under service business because the restaurant owner provides services to the different consumers by providing home delivery services. So these are the major, you can say, types or forms of business. Now let's discuss what are the different forms of business. So the forms of business organization may comprise of your sole trader, partnership, corporations. Ah, so what is happening in case of a sole trader? We are discussing the forms of a business. What happens in the case of a sole trader? A sole trader is a person. A sole trader means a sole trader is a person who makes the person singly, or he is the or she is the single owner of his own business. So where a single owner exists in the business, we call it as sole trader form of a business organization. Now the second one, partnership. When two